Hey, what's going on everyone? Justin again. As always, thanks for watching my channel. Today's topic is going to be about the new Matco drill that I got and the Cornwell 90-degree drill that I've had for about 8 years now. And we're also going to talk about the purpose and use of a drill press in an automotive shop. That being said, let's dive into it. Check out what some of these features are on various drills and see if we can't drill through some stuff. Can you drill it? Let's check it out. First tool up is going to be the Matco MT2889 forward and reverse drill. What I like about this so far is that it just seems like it has more control as far as trigger and speed. The speed that you're looking for is easily controlled with this trigger. If I just slowly press this in, you can see it starts off nice and slow, and then gradually you can pick it up as you're squeezing it in, but never goes over the top and overkill fast. So that's going to help, especially when starting a pilot hole. So we're just going to start one off. First thing I've done here, I've got this hinge that we're going to be drilling 2 holes in. One with the Matco and one with the Cornwell 90-degree. I've already used the center punch to determine the location of the hole that I want to drill. And I've got a small pilot drill bit that I'm going to go ahead and start for each one. So let's go ahead and give it a go. I'm using a Turbo Max Matco drill bit. One very important thing while drilling, and I just remembered it, always try to find some kind of lubricant, whether it's ATF, WD-40. In this case, I'm going to use some chain lube, and you can wet the actual bit itself or give it a little right there on the surface that you're getting ready to drill on. Alright, the second drill up is the Cornwell 90-degree angle drill, model number CAT375RA. It can do both right and left-handed drilling with a simple manipulation of this little button here on the bottom. You just push in and release for the drill bit to go counterclockwise. You push down and tighten in order for it to go clockwise. Upsides to having a 90-degree drill, you can get into tighter spots usually, and that's going to help you, especially if you have to drill out a exhaust manifold bolt or stud that broke off in the head. Downsides are going to be control. Not as much control with the 90-degree drill as with the Matco drill that we just looked at. So how can you get more control out of the 90-degree drill? Because it's for some people, especially if you're new to it, and you go to press down on it, you could accidentally get it to just rip. And you can see that, like, even if I try to like lightly pull it in, I might not always have that. My hand might give and I might accidentally dump it. I found that sticking a finger in between the trigger and the drill kind of, fuck, it's gonna make me a liar now, watch. It just helps me to better balance it. So now I can hold it like this. I've got my finger in the middle. So that's just gonna help for better control of the drill. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Another thing with the right angle drill is you want to make sure you keep the pressure as centered as you possibly can. For that, I try to put my hand on the top to kind of keep it as center as I can, but it's very easy to get an angle one way or the other. A little bit easier to get a straight shot with a more of a pistol style drill. Not sure why, just in my experience, that's what I've noticed. But at any rate, we're going to go ahead and spray this drill bit down. I really wish I had some WD-40 or some ATF. Go figure, I don't have those things at the house because I try to avoid side work. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get started here. We've already got our pilot hole started. We're just going to make them a little bit bigger using the 90-degree drill from Cornwell tools. So let's go ahead and do it. Yep, already jumping on me. Okay, that's one. That's two. So definitely a lot faster. You know, if you start the pilot hole first, that way it gives, you know, doesn't have to go through as much metal. And obviously, if you ever can, the best thing you can do is to try to start use a center punch to give yourself a spot for the drill bit to go. One of the key features I like about these Turbo Maxes is that it actually has a little tip on the end that will help put you right into that center punch groove, which is great. Downside to Turbo Max drill bits, they're not the strongest drill bits in the world, so you got to make sure you keep them plenty lubed. And if you're going into hard metal, you're going to want to step it up to maybe like a cobalt drill bit. But for soft metal, something like this that's not too incredibly thick, that's under, you know, well under 1/8 of an inch or whatever, it's going to be easy peasy to drill through. So keep that in mind. When it comes to drilling through actual bolts, that might be something a little different. In fact, let me go ahead and we'll get this bolt put in the vise and we'll see how it does as far as drilling through soft metal bolts. I'm sure it's just going to chew through this no problem, but we're gonna try that out since we got a minute. Alright, I think I got the bolt put in the vise pretty good. What I've been using for a center punch, because my punch and chisel sets at work, is I got these things. They're known as lady fingers or lady slippers. I picked these up from Harbor Freight, and at the very end it's got a nice point to it, kind of like a well, like a center punch. So I've been using that to center punch things, so I think we're just going to go ahead and set that here as center as we possibly can on the bolt, and we'll give it one little smack. Yep, not exactly center, but I think that's going to be just fine for us. Let me try to see if I can give it one more little tap. I think we got a nice indentation there going on there, but let me just, we'll just ensure. We'll set it right back in the same spot. Oh yeah, okay, that's going to be good to go. Alright, let me throw this back here in the toolbox. We'll go ahead and we'll pull out the Matco drill. Again, this one's capable of going up to 1800 RPMs. A couple of features that I actually like about it is that, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this or not. Probably not, but I'm going to try to bring it up here. On the inside here, where the drill bit gets its bite from, or the drill gets its bite from on the drill bit, there's actual 2 or 3 little teeth in there. And for drill bits that have this smooth end on the end of them, that's going to be perfect for that because it has something to grab onto. So now we'll go ahead and we'll tighten that back up in our drill. Oh, come on, baby. Oh, yeah, I was going the right way the first time. Another thing that I like, it almost has like this torque to tighten kind of feel to it. Because listen, and that lets you know that that thing is snug down there real good. So you don't have to worry about the drill bit slipping within the drill. Alright, so we are set up. We're going to go ahead and start drilling now and see how it goes through this Dorman bolt. Give it a little spray here. Switch over to the Cornwell, and I can see that I didn't center punch it very well, so we may end up drilling through the side of this bolt. But hey, can you drill it? Let's see. Well, I think that did fairly well. Now, another kind of drill that you're going to run into in the auto shop is going to be something known as the drill press. I got this one from my dad. It works pretty similar to most any other drill. It's got a spot here where you got to put the drill chuck to tighten up where the drill bit goes. And then, of course, on the other side, it has a switch that you flip up for power. And then as the powered on, there's a belt on top that rotates around like so, turning this around. And as far as I know, this only does right-hand drill or clockwise drilling. But you move this little selector lever like so, down to the center point of whatever it is that you're trying to drill. And you just kind of work the drill bit in and out, lubricating as needed. What this is really good for is if you have a component that's off the car, is it's able to apply constant and the same pressure throughout the entire drilling process, which makes drilling easier, and it makes it to where you won't burn up the drill bit as fast. That's what I've known through my time of drilling, is that, you know, nice consistency and low speed and a light amount of steady pressure is what you want when you're drilling something. Alright, so I have 4 different brands of drill bits here, and then 3 different types of drill bits, and we're going to briefly talk about this real quick. So right here I have these that are made by Warrior, and then I have another brand here that are made by Hercules. And one of the things to note is that these are titanium nitride. They're supposed to last quite a while. I haven't put these Hercules ones to use yet, but we have been using the heck out of the Warrior ones. I don't know if you could see on the inside there some of their... At any rate, we use most of these for around the house, drilling through either wood, drywall, etc., which is a softer drill bit, and you can see that on the end here, it's nice and smooth. So something to think about here for a second, because I'm going to show you another style of drill bit coming up that's going to play a role in. But at any rate, mostly from what I found is that this is used, the best use for this is on like wood applications. Not going to want to use it too much on metal. I think you'll be okay if you want to use those on plastic or even thin tin as well. I had some black oxide ones a while back that I used for metal pop rivets on the race cars for dirt track. So, and those held up for years. We use those all the time. It took me like 2 years of constant use and abuse before I finally burned through the whole box. But at any rate, another set I got coming up here is the Matco ones. Let me put these drill bits back. But before I do, I'll show you that the smaller ones, I think this is down below 1/4 inch, is also smooth. However, once you start getting towards, 3/16, you'll notice that there are 3 flat spots on this drill bit at the end. And that's so that way the teeth can have something to bite onto and lock it into place. Normally, if you're going to be using a smaller drill bit, such as something like this, it's going to be for starting a pilot hole. So you really shouldn't be having to use it at high speeds or high pressures. If you do, you're going to snap the bit or burn it out really quick. The reason why they have the teeth on some of the bigger ones is because now you might have to apply a little bit more pressure or use a little bit more speed when drilling out whatever it is that you want to drill out. So we'll put those away. But these are the Turbo Max drill bits from Matco. And they're mostly made for like softer metals. I think you can get away with it a lot of times on aluminum. And some mild steel, but not so thick. Like I said, try to keep it under 1/8 of an inch. I haven't really had any problems with using these drill bits yet. I've been using them pretty consistently for the last couple years now, and they still hold up and serve me well. Again, lubricate, lubricate, lubricate. You'll get the drill bits to last a long time. The other drill bits that I have here, and I don't have a full set because these guys can get expensive, but they're the Cobalt drill bits. These are the left-hand thread ones for extracting. I think you guys have seen those in a past video. However, these are made of a different type of material, and unlike the Turbo Max, all sizes are pretty much going to have that smooth shank at the end and nowhere for the drill to bite onto. So from time to time, as it gets worn, you'll see this one has seen some time. They will occasionally slip, so you will have to take the drill chuck and just tighten up the chuck on the drill. So something to consider. I hope that someday, unless you guys know of anybody, they start making the Cobalt drill bits with the 3-groove pinching points. So I think they would hold up and last a bit longer, and I wouldn't have to worry about sitting there constantly tightening and tightening my drill chuck. Alright, so you guys got a chance to check out the all-new Matco drill, variable speed drill that I got. It goes up to 1800 RPMs. Like I said, I did find out while I was drilling that there was a couple of times that I applied a little bit more pressure than I meant to, but for the most part, I believe that it has a lot more control as far as trigger manipulation than the more standardized air drill that you can get from Cornwell. But it's a 90-degree drill. This is going to get into some tighter spots, and it's going to make for, I think, in my opinion, you'll get a lot more use out of the 90-degree drill than you might something like this. However, if you have any opportunity to get a straighter shot at it, this is going to be one of your best friends. This is a style drill that you really want. However, if I had to do it all over again, which I'm glad I don't have to, I would definitely buy this one first. And I actually did buy this one first some 8 years ago, and it still kicks butt today. Only downside is on this one that I've noticed over the course of 8 years is that, and I haven't had to have it rebuilt or anything, but when you have to tighten up the drill bits, those smooth shank drill bits that we've talked about, oftentimes it does slip, and that's just because on the inside of this particular Cornwell one, at one point in time, it did have 2 teeth on the inside of each one of those grips on the end here on the anvil, and over time they've just worn out, so now the drill bit from time to time spins, so I just gotta tighten it a little bit more. So maybe it's time for me to send it in to get rebuilt. Maybe she still has some more time ahead of it before I have to do that. It has definitely served its purpose, and it is way outside of its warranty. I think you get 2 years on any air tool product between Cornwell and Matco. So very, very glad that I got that. Another good investment is if you can get your hands on some of these swivel adapters for the air hose. Believe me, it's gonna make your life so much more enjoyable, because how many times have we been in situations where we had an air hose hooked up and there was no way for us to manipulate the hose, and the hose is all sticking up and getting tangled and stuff. I just think that having that ability to rotate the air hose or point it down or get it out of your way is gonna be extremely beneficial to you, and you're gonna find yourself enjoying life a little bit more. That's all I got for this video, guys. Thanks as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Cheers to those of you that have your beers, and we'll see you next time. Deuces.